Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be reviewing the all-new 2023 Buick Enclave. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Enclave. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. You can check out this and then the rest of their inventory as well. And something I do want to mention is this Enclave literally just got off the transport truck, so they have not had a chance to clean it, but I figured you guys would still want to see a video on this while I'm in the area, so no complaints on the fact that it's slightly dirty. And then as always, if you're going to save time, money the next time purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into the video. Under the hood with a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6, it goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs and then 266 pound-feet of torque at 2,800 RPMs. Now let's go over the front end of the Enclave. And before we get into anything, I do need to mention that this is built on the same platform as the Chevy Traverse, if you guys are wondering in terms of size and, well, where this comes from in GM's lineup. But anyways, you've got the Buick shield here in the center, or I should say the 3 shields. And then you have very interesting looking daytime running lights, or like the whole like light cluster at the top. Just, yeah, super unique. And then you can see the lights down below, and then notice here with the chrome trim that kind of wraps around, and then more chrome trim on the grille. There's a camera there at the bottom of the Buick logo, and this thing honestly looks pretty like futuristic and crazy, like especially next to regular cars. It's interesting. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 255, 55, 20 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys will notice here on the wheel design itself, you got the silver there on the top with the dark metallic gray below that. And overall, I think it's a pretty good looking wheel. It's one of the least crazy elements on the Enclave here. Anyways, notice the chrome trim there at the top and then the chrome trim here on the side. And look at the shape of the mirrors. It's kind of interesting. And then you got more chrome trim all around the windows, and there's your full side view. So here's our key fob for the Enclave. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, and then the opening here for the hatch. And yeah, pretty normal key fob. So we'll press that a couple times and that'll pop the hatch right open. Now going over the rear area here. So first off, you got some storage space underneath. We got these 2 nice plaques here on either side. Notice that we can raise or lower the 3rd row. So for example, if I want to do the right side, look how fast it is. Well, obviously I ran out of real estate there, but you guys get the point. It's pretty cool, and it's fast with the overall rate. And then when you're all done, you just got this button right here. Just press that and then it'll lower back down the hatch. Now going over the rest of the rear of the Enclave, you can see the spoiler there at the top, and then down below here with the taillight, pretty interesting design. And then notice how that kind of like wraps around and goes into that centerpiece again with the Buick shields. We have our Enclave all-wheel drive badge. Apparently I can't talk today. That's like every day, right? Parking sensors here at the bottom, and then notice the covers over the exhaust tips. And well, that's the rear. Here's our door panel in the back. So first off, you got like this gloss wood trim here at the top and the silver trim down below that. And then notice the leather padding down below that with the stitching that goes throughout. And then here are these seats, which are actually pretty cool looking. It almost looks like someone with, like that's their head and then that's the shoulders, but the shoulders are kind of shrugging up a little bit. Perforated there in the center portion of the seat. And we got all of our adjustments. And I'm guessing I can adjust this back, or maybe it's this handle that adjusts the back. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. So it's just farther underneath than I remember. But anyways, there's your legroom. There's your headroom. And then you can see the storage pocket here. Got the vents at the top. We do have climate controls here for the rear. So you can see heated seats on top of that. And got a bunch of charging ports. As for the 3rd row, again, this is basically a Traverse, but Buick form, right? So you've got the same amount of space there. Notice that the seats are perforated even for the back. And they got USB port in the back as well, which is pretty fun. Anyways, let's head to the front. Here is our door panel for the front. You can see the wood trim here at the top, and then notice the silver trim down below that. Blind spot monitoring for the mirrors. Got all of our controls here for the memory seats. And then notice the mirrors do power fold in, and then window controls, and then all of our leather padding right there. We do have that for the hatch to set it at different heights. Speaker for the Bose sound system, and well, here's the front seat. Notice again, perforated all down the center portion of the seat, and then we've got our power adjustments here on the side. Pedal layout down below, and the controls for like the heads-up display, for example, park brake, and then you can see the dash has more of that nice padding on it, but let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel for the Enclave. You can see the padding all around, and then notice the stitching there on the center portion. You can see the silver trim here at the bottom. Paddle shifters here on the back of that 9-speed automatic. There are radio controls on the back of the steering wheel as well. Controls for the center stack, and we have like our voice command phone controls, cruise control, and then notice for the heated steering wheel control as well. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Here is the gauge cluster. You can see it's kind of like half screen, half analog. I love how it like bleeds into each other, which is kind of interesting. But you can basically scroll through different menus here in the center to see different bits of info like on the vehicle, and then you can see the other bits of info you can go through like navigation, all that kind of stuff. Pretty straightforward. Most modern cars have something like that, and that's all. Here is the infotainment system. So first off, we pop it into reverse. We do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and you guys will notice that we have this full 360 camera system. So you can see out of every single angle, which I think is fantastic. Resolution's also great as well. And then popping into park, as the rest of the screen, response time's great. I feel like it's nicely integrated into the dash. I love how there's controls on other sets, like your auto stop start. That's actually to put it into all-wheel drive mode. If you guys are wondering, it's in front-wheel drive when it's not in all-wheel drive. And then hazard lights, parking sensor, and then lane departure. And then we've got our analog controls down below for like the home screen button, volume control, all that. And also, you guys saw the engine stop start button earlier, but it's cool looking. We've got our analog controls for the climate system. It has dual zone climate system with heated and cooled seats. And then we have our wireless phone charging pad here with some USBs. And we have our wood trim that covers up the cup holders. And our transmission selector here, which is a bunch of like pull tabs and buttons. It's kind of like a GM thing to do now. And then there is the glove box. You can see again with the stitching here and then the padding on the side. And then notice on the dash too. And boom, pretty big glove box actually. I like the overall dash design. It kind of flows. Now this has GM's camera mirror, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. Definitely a nice bit of safety tech. And then we've got a sunglass holder and then nothing else to see up top. So here's our window sticker for this Enclave. So it's a premium all-wheel drive 1SN. Very interesting name. 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, bumper to bumper. 5-year, 60,000 mile on the powertrain. Base MSRP 52,300, and then this does have a couple packages like the touring package, and of course our $1,500 OnStar charge. Total MSRP $58,590. Trying to not back up into trucks. Let's drive it. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood. Hopefully you guys can now see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors just do a blind spot. And then throughout the rest of the rear, I love how it's instructions on how to use the seat. That's funny. Anyways, let's set off. So, setting off here in the Enclave. And I don't know if I've ever driven one of these. I don't do a whole lot of reviews on Buick models. It doesn't necessarily seem to be the most popular brand. Like GMC, super popular. Chevy, super popular. Cadillac, super popular. Buick, they had to do a bunch of those commercials. Is that a Buick? To try to revive things with the brand. I think their cars look cool though. Like this, I think looks pretty cool. It's definitely out there, but I think overall it's a pretty cool looking vehicle. But yeah, and actually saying off seat comfort's great. I like the padding on the seats. We'll see how the acceleration is. And 3.6 liter V6 is good. Again, this ultimately is just like a, well, again, a Traverse, but with the Buick logo on it. So, yeah, smooth from a ride quality perspective. See, coming around this corner. handles great. It's just a good, it drives really well. Again, if you don't have a chance to drive one of these, literally just drive a Chevy Traverse and you pretty much will be driving the Enclave. So yeah, I guess that we will sum things up here with the Enclave. I know it was a little bit of a short drive, but I've driven a bunch of Traverses, I've driven the Acadia, all that kind of stuff, so it's like they all drive pretty much the same. I think this looks pretty unique on the outside. Interiors, again, also pretty unique with the gray themed interior. It's definitely different. Yeah, I don't know how to finish this. So $58,000, that's, yeah, it's more expensive than the than the Traverse and the Acadia. It doesn't, I mean, this is a cool looking vehicle. I'm just not sure, like, I feel like this is the type of vehicle that you just have to want it, if that makes sense. Like, it's, I'm not saying like there's nothing wrong with this, like, it's really nice. It's just that like GM has kind of created competition within their own brands against this. And you know, this interior is really nice, but like an Acadia Denali, which actually is about the same price as this, I feel like that is an interior that's just as nice, if not nicer than this. Traverse High Country is also really nice. I reviewed one of those recently. So yeah, you basically just, if you want Buick styling, but other than that, like, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just that it's not necessarily, it looks unique. That's what it has going for it.